Have you heard of a keyboard store? Recently, there's been a surge of people interested in building their own custom mechanical keyboard. And with that came a new kind of shop which I would like to call keyboard connoisseurs. I happened to stumble upon one while I was surfing Instagram and one of those pesky Facebook ads came out to harass me. Holy Now these shops are actually pretty cool. They have keyboards displayed everywhere like an Apple shop, and I would assume you are able to build a keyboard there with probably a guidance of their staff members. All this, but at what cost? So in this video, I'm going to be investigating one of these shops.
I'm a beginner to keyboard. I've never built a keyboard before in my life.
Build whatever keyboard they recommend, and compare that keyboard to a keyboard that I'll build with the same budget. So I wanted to investigate one of these places, but I didn't want to go in without a plan. And so I made a plan. Here is the plan. First, I cannot be recognized as the famous keyboard person I am, so I have to go in a disguise. And part of the disguise is my friend Luke. Because no one goes in alone. It looks stupid. And sad. And lonely. Why am I describing myself? We will go into the shop and act like beginners. People who have never seen a custom keyboard in their life. Next, we'll build a keyboard according to their recommendations. Third, we'll get scammed. Because custom keyboards aren't cheap and these shops are way overpriced. And lastly, we'll build a better keyboard at the same price to show you guys that custom keyboards don't need to be this expensive. And with that said, let's start the mission. Operation Break into the mechanical keyboard shop as ordinary paying customers, totally not suspicious people, XD. Now getting into the place was a lot harder than I expected, but we finally found the entrance. We went in and acted like customers not to draw any attention, blended in by trying a few keyboards, and then came the time to execute the plan.
You guys still do the
Are you Squashy Boy?
So the disguises didn't work, they instantly recognized us. You know what, it's fine, let's stick to the plan. We acted like customers who haven't a clue about what they're doing.
I'm a beginner to keyboard. I've never built a keyboard before in my life.
Got to try out a few switches. We also got to choose our parts.
Our base kit, there will be the Keychron Q1.
And we got to build our keyboard. And as a test for the staff, we intentionally bent one of the switch's pins. This essentially renders the switch useless and makes the keyboard broken. Will they find out?
So the reason why it doesn't work is because the pins are bent.
Yes, they did. They also found another bent switch, which we didn't do on purpose, but you know. And with that, we've built our keyboard. A Keychron Q1 with stocked looped Gateron Black Pros and a GMK Matrix PBT keycap set. So part 2 complete. Now here comes the time we get scammed. The part where we're gonna get overcharged for off-the-shelf parts. The part where we...
Total will be 28.
So $282.
Huh. That in US dollar is $205, which is actually really reasonable. So we didn't get scammed. I guess this just leaves us with the build off. I challenged Lewis to build a custom keyboard with the same budget that we used to build this. $205 to build a keyboard better than this. Let the challenge begin. And we're off. I have with me the Arco Mod 008, a 65% all aluminum gasket mounted hot swap keyboard, which is always in stock. So there's no need to wait 8 months for a group buy for this. Actually, all the parts I've chosen in this build are all available in stock, so if you want to check them out, I've linked them in the description. I swapped out the provided stabilizers for Durox screw-in stabilizers. They were looped and wholly modded, and I'm also using this new trick which I've learned from Lewis, who've learned it from DobyKey, who probably learned it from Luke Mason, where you put a small amount of foam between the stabilizer wire to prevent the rattling sounds that comes from it. And it also makes it sound a bit better. As for the switches, I've bought the Gateron Pro Milky Yellows. Once the king of budget linear switches now comes pre-lubed. Now this keyboard comes with a daughter board, so we have to screw that in. And I installed the pre-cut foam that was given in the box. As for the keycaps, I'm using these Japanese style PBT keycaps I got off AliExpress. I honestly like the material PBT better because it produces a deeper torque. And also they were pretty cheap. And that is the keyboard. It came in at a total price of $201.76. Here's a quick comparison of this keyboard and the keyboard that we bought from the store. And with that, let's see what Lewis has come up with. So right now I'm with Lewis and we are finally done with the challenge. Are you ready to show your keyboard? 3, 2, 1. Boom. Ooh. What? Yeah, it's like the first time we saw this keyboard, you know, it's totally not like a recreated reaction, you know, original reaction in his channel. So how do you think of the keyboards?
They are really different in terms of sound, feel, and look. You went with a 65% with a knob, we have a 75%, and we have a TKL. And on the back, it's totally different.
Let's show the backs. Okay, mine's embarrassing, you know.
We already decided the winner of my channel, and he just wants me to say he won. Again.
I won.
He won.
Honestly, going back to the original question, is a keyboard shop a scam? It's hard to say because here are the prices for all the 3 keyboards, and keyboard shop we expected to get a scam like what, a few $100, like
$500.
$500. Not only is the keyboard all in stock, you can just get it straight from the shop. You don't need to wait for shipping times. Mine took 7 days, yours took months. But this is where the keyboard shop shines because not only can you see the design before you build the keyboard, so you can plan out what you want in the keyboard, but also get it instantly. So yeah, it turns out the keyboard connoisseur was not a scam. In fact, I think these shops are really good for beginners or newcomers to the hobby. I've actually interviewed some people at the shop about their experiences with custom keyboards, and here's what they have to say.
Is this the first time you guys are building something like this, like a keyboard?
Yeah, it's our first experience.
It's your first experience, okay. I just want to ask, is this your first time building a keyboard like this?
Yes.
Oh, so it's your first time? Okay.
And it turns out they're all new to the hobby. So what does this all mean, Squashy, I hear you ask? Just get a custom keyboard.